We all want to build with copper. It's a beautiful block. We want to automate it. We want to get a lot of it. I'm going to show you how to do that so that you never have to place those blocks yourself ever again. This system works in modules. You can see one module right in front of you. These only do one aging stage at a time, and this is on purpose so that the user can decide whether they want to age it completely through a system of 3, or if they only want to age it once or twice. That can be controlled via redstone or by not building all 3 modules. I'll show you how to only build one, and I'll show you how to connect them together. Let's say you want your copper in this barrel right here. So let's get working. This is kind of a rough approximation of some of the materials that you'll need. A lot of it's not exact, but you'll see. This hopper right here is where your copper is going to end up. So I'm going to place a placeholder just for a moment here. We obviously want to be able to place a block. We can do that through Quark dispenser block placing. If you have a different mod that has a block placer, you can use that instead, because that's all that we need that for. Now, it does need to be redstone controlled, of course. Now, we need some way to know that the copper is aged. We'll use an observer for that. It is looking right here where the copper will be, and it will send a pulse if it notices growth. And we'll take that pulse and we'll do something useful with it. So in this tutorial, I'm going to use full blocks whenever they're needed and half blocks whenever they're not necessarily needed. This stone slab is not actually important for anything. I'm just using it to show where a certain thing will be placed. You're going to want a target block sitting here, and I'll show you right now why that's useful. This is my version of a T flip-flop that we're going to be using for this tutorial. A T flip-flop toggles. So we'll be able to toggle this on and off using the T flip-flop, and that will happen automatically, and I'll show you why that's important very soon. Now, observers give very tiny pulses, so we're going to need to lengthen that pulse a little bit. So you're going to put one delay on this repeater right here, and then this will lengthen the pulse slightly enough for this piston. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and place this piston. This is a very important piston because this, along with the iron rod, will actually break the copper after it's been aged one cycle. So this redstone will power that. Now this redstone is also going to do something else. We're also going to bring it up here, do a little half thing, and we're going to want just a little bit of delay, one stick of delay here, and then we're going to do something a little different. We're going to put a block here, and the last piston goes here. This will cut off this redstone connection right here when it's activated. That's useful because we don't want the observer to keep observing when this iron rod comes to break the copper. We only want it to observe when the copper is placed and when it ages. So that's what that will block off the signal for. And of course, importantly, after the copper's aged, we need to be able to place the next copper. So we're going to put a slab here and a repeater here with maximum delay. All of the delay. Well, we have what looks like a module right here. Why don't we just go ahead and test this out? So you'll see when I place this test block here that this piston was activated and it pulled the target block from out here to in here. Now the redstone dust is going into the target block, meaning that this signal will make it through the target block. That means it's primed and ready to go. So let's pretend this copper just aged. It gets broken, it gets placed here, and then you heard a clicking sound up in this dispenser. So let's explore what that is. And you'll see that this target block is back over here, ready for a new copper. So let's put our new copper back in here. Now it's ready. Now I break it, and it places a new one. And you can see it's primed and ready for that one. Oh, we just have an actual copper right there. You see that? That's a little preview for what's going to happen in a moment. So this all worked. Now you're probably, if you're really thinking about the way that this will work, you notice there's actually a slight problem. And you'll also notice that these modules are slightly bigger than this. So what if your copper doesn't make it into this dispenser right here until after it's been activated? So this gets activated, it grows, this gets activated, it removes that too. Now it activated this dispenser, there's nothing in it, but when we put our next copper in there, well, it's not automatically placed. We don't want to have to manually do it. No, this is fully automatic. Well, there is a solution for that. So, of course, in any system, you're not going to place stuff straight in this dispenser. You'll have an input where you'll put a new copper ready to be aged. So let's pretend this is where your copper is coming from. And you can do whatever you want here. I think this probably works with hoppers too, but I use these pipes because the pipes are easy. Now, we're going to take this input right here and we're going to analyze it a little bit. That's what we have a little comparator for. So I'm going to place this top slab right here, and we're going to look at this pipe right here. And if we find anything, we're going to transfer up to this block. We're going to put a redstone up here. We're going to put a block on the redstone, and then top slab and max delay repeater. Max delay because we need to make sure that the item makes it all the way into the dispenser before it tries to place it. So let's just test the, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, now, now we have a repeater in here. You know, that actually works. That actually works pretty well for a test. That's really funny. Not at all what the system was designed for, but that worked pretty well. Yeah. So now, anytime that you put your copper into the system, it will automatically take care of it. So it ages, it ages, it ages. Yep. So everything works completely automatically now. And as you can see, the way that this works makes it extremely easy to automate. So if you would like to chain these together, it's extremely easy. Here's an example of 3 chained together. So there's those pipes heading into the top dispenser here for the copper. Yeah, and you can see that it's being fed from this one up here. So if we go up to this one, you see it's a stage less aged. So as soon as this one breaks, the hopper will pick up the aged copper and send it down to this dispenser. And it will all end up in this little item hopper right here when it's fully oxidized. And as far as I can tell, there's really not any way for this to break. It would be interesting to test it over like, you know, thousands of hours, but I can't think of any way this would break. So I'm going to add a system later where you can use levers or some other input to decide which stage you want to age it to. But for now, you put copper in the top and it will all just get turned into fully oxidized copper. If anyone wants a deeper explanation of any of the mechanics here, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching.